Hello, vinyl community. How you doing? I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, hey, it's 2024, and you know what that means. It's time to be finishing up all the Christmas ale. Cheers, my friends. It also means it's time to do the annual Rob Walker from Rob Walker Let the Music Play. His end of the year 20 questions. He always comes up with some great questions, and there's some really good ones in here. And there's a few of them that I haven't even wrote down my answers yet. So we'll kind of go along. Let's get started, shall we? I figured you haven't seen enough of these videos yet. So how about one more? So first off, the favorite record that you purchased in 2023. And I am not normally a box set guy, normally because they're just way too expensive and sometimes what's in them isn't worth it. Not that they're not great a lot of times, but I just normally can't afford it. But this one was pretty reasonably priced, I thought. And this is one from Doro. It's called Magic Diamonds, the Best of Rock Ballads and Rare Treasures. And this is a fantastic box set. There's the back of it. I won't go through all of it here. We're trying to save some time, but it's got 4 records in it. It's got a CD, all different stuff on there. It's got some live stuff. Like I said, it's Rare Treasures. There's a poster in here. Fantastic set. So that's Doro. Doro Pesch, of course, from Germany. Number 2, final purchase that you made in 2023, your final vinyl purchase. And for me, it was actually an old one. It was More of the Monkees. And as you can see, I already had this album, but one of these copies is in really bad shape. And this one is in good shape. But it's also in mono. So I have a mono and a stereo version of that. Not my favorite Monkees album, but obviously it's got some great stuff on there. It's the Monkees. Next up, an artist who released 2 albums in 1 year. That used to be fairly common with a lot of bands, right? Including this band here, one of my favorite hard rock progressive bands, Rush. In 1975, they released not only Fly By Night, but one of my favorite Rush albums, Caress of Steel. These are fantastic albums, man. I love early Rush. Rush throughout the 70s up to about 1980 was the best. Let's see. Your favorite decade of music, I guess, if you could only listen to music from one decade, what would it be? Kind of tough because I really love a lot of my favorite stuff is from the 80s, but I mean, you got to go 70s, I think. You're just thinking of Black Sabbath, the Stones, there's just so much, Led Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Uriah Heep, so much stuff in the 70s. I would have to go with that, but it was tough because the 80s is right there with it. Let's see. Name an artist from Manchester, like Rob himself from Manchester. So I chose Billy Duffy, who is a guitar player from The Cult. Fantastic album, Love by The Cult. Everybody should own that album. Next up, which artist did you listen to the most in 2023? I am not sure because I'm not, some kind of psychopath that keeps a list of everything that I list. I'm just guessing. And I think it actually, to my surprise, I started thinking about it. It might have been Yes. Because I saw Yes in concert and, I was kind of trying to listen to some stuff because I've only been listening to Yes for, really a couple years. I wasn't a fan way back when. So I was trying to delve into their catalog a little bit more. And I think it might have been Yes. This, of course, is Fragile or Fragile. Next up, we've got Show 7 7-inch records. Can we call them 45s? I mean, why do we always have to say, show me your 7 inches? That just sounds weird. So I want to call them 45s. I've got a couple by a band that I loved. You've seen me talk about them before. The Surfragettes, there they are. They are an all-instrumental surf band from Canada, of all places. And before they ever released an album, they had a few 45s, so I got those. What else do we have here? We've got Make a Move on Me by Olivia Newton-John. You know I'm going to show some Olivia here. Next up, we've got, oh, That's the Way, I Like It by KC and the Sunshine Band. Got a little bit of Kiss Me Deadly by Lita Ford. We've got Little Liar by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Both of those, I believe, were gifts from my good buddy JC from the flip side. Here's one, ABBA, Take a Chance on Me, and I'm a Marionette, which I love that song. I love, big ABBA fan. From probably my favorite album by them. And then finally, let's hold this one for the last one. Kiss, I Was Made for Loving You, with Hard Times on the back by Ace, off of Dynasty. All right, next up, 4 musicians coming to your party. If you could have a party, a dream party here, and you invite 4 musicians, I'm going to go with Keith Richards, Stuart Copeland, Chrissie Hynde, and then I'm going to throw a little surprise in there, because how about Mike from PC31, the Vinyl Policeman? That would give me a chance to meet Mike. I love that guy, and he is a musician. He's made his own music, and he's also in a Kinks cover band. So he's a musician. He counts, and I'm picking him to join us. I think that'd be a great party. I love all those people. Chrissie Hynde, Keith, Stuart. Name one musician who died in 2023. If you've watched this channel, you can probably guess who I'm going to pick. Somebody I love quite a bit. Jeff Beck. This, of course, is Wired. That's kind of a jazz fusion type album. And then Guitar Shop. This is the first time I ever got to see him, was on this tour where he toured with the late, great Stevie Ray Vaughan. This album is, gosh, this is so great. I love it. And this was a gift also from Josh from the flip side. I've never seen it on vinyl, and he found it. I mean, he just sent it to me, shocked the hell out of me. Love it, love it, love it. Next up, what do we got? Name an album. Oh, no, wait, no. If you could only pick music, you can only listen to music from one country, what would it be? It's got to be England. There's just so much there. Those other bands I just named about the 70s, and you've got Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, just, you know, so many bands out of England. Not that there's not tons of bands. Some of my favorite bands are from America, but gosh, I think I got to go England on that. Next up, name 3 VC vinyl community channels that you discovered in 2023. You know, I know I'm going to leave somebody out that I shouldn't. But how about I'm going to go Alex from Beer and Vinyl, which I think, why didn't I name my channel that? But he is from Ohio. And gosh, that guy, I'm not sure how old he is. It's hard to tell with that big bushy beard. But man, he has a lot of musical knowledge. And I'm definitely going to meet up with Alex this year at some point. But he seems like a fun guy. And then another guy that also looks like he could probably kick your ass. And that is Anthony at Gambler812. The Gambler812. He spells that GMBLR. And then the number's 812. Anthony, great guy out of the Boston area. But yeah, you know, that accent and the way he looks, he looks like a hitman to me, kind of. I'm not trying to generalize him because he's actually seems like a very nice guy. But very cool. I really like Anthony. I love his channel. He is a very cool dude. Next up, how about Marsha P? She, you know, I think we've got to look out for her, though, because if you're familiar with Sven from All the Girls Hate My Channel, he is a bit of a stalker, and he's had Sam St. John on his radar for quite a while. Really, really creepy. But if you pay attention now, I think maybe Marsha might be taking Sam's place from Sven's crush over there because he can't go without mentioning her more and more. So look, Marsha, if you are ever on a video with him and you feel like you're being threatened or you're very uncomfortable, you want some help, just say the word Shazam, and we in the vinyl community will help you out. Next, show a record that you bought as a teenager. How about this bad ass album, Number the Beast by Iron Maiden. Hallowed be thy name. God, what a great album. Bought that as a teenager. Who would have thought all those years ago that I would still love it today? Next, show a funk or soul record. Here's a little twofer. I mean, you know I got to show War because I love this band. I love War. Deliver the Word. But you know what? I'm in Ohio. How about the Ohio Players? I know that doesn't look that good there, but they're known for those covers, those kind of racy covers. Back when I was a very young boy, you would see those in a record shop and you say, let me see that record. Next up, show a record that you think everybody has. Back in Black by AC/DC. You know, I mean, I can still listen to this. You know, it's still got some classic songs on here. But man, this is one of those ones, if I could go back and listen to this again for the first time, because this just kicked my ass when it came out. Next up, show an album you don't think anybody else has. Blondie, live in Dallas, Texas from 1979. The King Biscuit Flower Hour. This was a gift from Aaron Mutha Alamir. Sounds pretty darn good for being a bootleg type album. I really like it. Love Blondie. Love this era of Blondie. I love any era of Blondie. What am I saying? A record that you bought by a female artist in 2023. Well, as you know, I buy a lot of female artists. But how about my good friend, Ali Venable? Real Gone. This is a really good album. I love it. Signed this one because, you know, we're kind of buds. So, a hell of a guitar player. Next up, favorite video that you posted in 2023. I don't know. Most of my videos are crap. You guys know that. But I don't know. I know that, you know, how about the one where I went to Jeff Witcher's house. Him and me and our wives, we went to see Bryan Adams with Joan Jett and spent the night at his house, and I filmed from his house. That was fun just because he's in the video. I also did a hype video for the Cleveland Guardians where I used a song from the All Sinners as the background music, and I really did like the way that turned out. Favorite video that you watched? I've watched a lot of videos, lots of videos. I don't always comment, and I apologize. I try to, sometimes I don't. But you guys are all making fantastic videos out there. I mean, I'm sure, you know, probably one of the deep dives that Jeff did. He's doing the Stones right now. Those are great. Sam St. John, when he got 1,000 subscribers, he did a really nice video. I thought it was very well done, very heartwarming type video. He's a great kid. Next up, show a record that you would describe as a 90s classic. The Globe Sessions by Sheryl Crow. God, this is such a good album. I love it. I love it. If you could walk into the cover of any album, I don't know, probably lots of them, but how about this? Bangles all over the place. Why would I want to walk into the cover of this album? Don't be an idiot. Next up, a record that you are so familiar with that to you it feels like a greatest hits. Maybe not to somebody else, but to you it does. How about the Pretenders? The debut album from the Pretenders. Man, this thing is like a greatest hits to me. Starts off with Precious. I love that song. It's got Kid, Space Invader, Tattooed Love Boys. That's great. Of course, Brass in Pocket, Private Life, Mystery Achievement. Whoa. Finally, 20. Name an album that's turning 50 in 2024. That means it came out in 1974. Wow. A lot of great stuff. I'll go with this one. It's Only Rock and Roll by the Rolling Stones. Actually, one of the earlier albums I ever got by the Stones. You Can't Rock Me, Somebody Will. Love it. I love this album. So there you go. Hey, everybody. Go check out Rob Walker. I'm sure you already have. Let the Music Play. Great guy. He always has these fantastic threads for us. I appreciate anybody who has stuck around and watched the whole thing. Until the next time, my friends, I'm Gary. This is Physical Format Rock and Roll, and I will see you down the road.